Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Hi Virgo, welcome to the Winds of Jupiter December Tarot reading. Now your overall energy card is the King of Cups. It's nice to get the Master of Emotions. I think a lot of things were up and down in November because Venus was in Scorpio and it was in detriment, meaning it was in the opposite sign of its home, which is Taurus. And this was happening too in Sagittarius with Mercury and Libra and Mars. All these planets were uncomfortable. And this was making a lot of ups and downs in emotions in November. And now Venus is going into Sagittarius in December, and it's looking forward to having some adventure, experiences, and some love. The King is bringing in an emotional matrix that can balance the unconscious with the conscious and emotions versus intellect. He can bring in a deep understanding of the senses and feelings. He's wearing a mantle of mature emotions that says he's the master of his passions. He gives really sound advice and sets your feet on the right path. There's a lot of politically incorrect things going on in life now. People are getting busted for using sex as a leverage for all kinds of things. And this is a lesson, too, that we have to start treating others with emotional and physical respect. That the advice the King gives you. Now, there's been some problems, though, on the left on what you know. You received the Five of Cups and the World card. The Five of Cups is about disappointments and unhappy endings, and maybe even some fingers pointing about blame. There could have been even some type of loss and some mourning going on. But you know, this isn't the end of the world. It's really time to get out of the past mourning, cross the bridge to the present and future. Life brings about a lot of stressful situations, and it's really how we react to them, and sometimes we overreact. We make trauma and disappointment where it wasn't even really there. And a lot of times we like to overreact as drama kings and queens. But you know, whatever bad things happen, it's time to just cut the ties. Take whatever losses there are and just walk away. Give yourself a new beginning. Move on. Change what you can change and move on. And this is about emotions because Five of Cups and the King of Cups is now saying that this reading has a lot to do with emotions, front end anyway. But this is coming to an end because you received the World card, and it's saying, yeah, you're at the end of a cycle. You're popping out of the other end. It appears you made some peace with some of this disappointment and despair and desolation that you had gone through. And the King of Cups is one card that can actually help you through hurt emotions. He knows how to say the right things and bring in all the new feelings that need to be felt to have that refreshing new start again. Now the World card is saying, yeah, you learned some really hard lessons, emotional lessons, it appears. But now it's time to take on some new challenges and not be scared to go and check the temperature of the water with your toes. You know, jump back into life. And that's what the cards in the center for what is or can be yours is saying too. You received the Six of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. Now the Four of Pentacles is the Miser card. And it does say that you can have some financial security or just some security and stability that's making you feel content. A lot of times this card is saying that you hung on to are still hanging on to some things that aren't serving you any longer. You just have to get rid of them. Don't have any purpose in your life anymore. It's time to get rid of the old to make room for the new. And if you can do that, then you're going to receive the Six of Wands and be lauded and honored. The Six of Wands is a celebration card about your achievements. A lot of times it's a card about a contest or a competition that you won. But maybe you were just competing with yourself and finally came to some realizations that you just can't hang on to this kind of stuff that's making you unhappy with the Five of Cups. And I think the King of Cups is the one that gave you this realization. And the World card came along as a cosmic karma card because it was just time for everything to end, to have an ending to whatever was making you unhappy. And the tide is turning now because the cards next door for your awareness and self-awareness is the Ten of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. I've seen the Ten of Cups recently in this series of readings quite often, and it's nice to see. People are happy again or becoming happy. They're having happy family relationships and friendships that are building and developing. You do see a glimpse of heaven over the Rainbow of Cups with the Ten of Cups. It is an endings and new beginnings card too that's bouncing off the idea of the end of a cycle with the World card. But this card requires you to live with simplicity in your life. Accept just the simple joys of life, of love. You know, if we get too complicated about things in our emotions, boy, do we get tangled up. And that's what the Two of Pentacles is saying about making the right decisions. Not making them all tangled up and complicated. But here it's saying that you've been juggling these things and you've been really worried about keeping the balls up in the air and not dropping them. Now there's a lot of things going on in your future cards. You receive the Four of Pentacles again. And this card is really about Virgo. In the last year you received that Four of Pentacles card quite often. And I have the feeling too that you've been hanging on to some things that just haven't been serving your life, had no purpose whatsoever. But it was something that was there, and you're very routine people. And you don't like to be taken out of your daily routines, and I think that's one reason that there hasn't been a lot of changes at times. But the Eight of Pentacles is there saying, yeah, there's going to be some new projects, some new beginnings. You're going to utilize some of your talents now. Instead of being back at Five of Cups and going, oh no, this is really bad. Oh no, it's time to look forward to some new project. Get involved. Then you have the Strength and the Star card. Hopefully you utilize the strength to keep overcoming the Five of Cups back there, because we as humans can be very habitual and go back to our old ways. The Strength card is saying, no, don't do that. Give yourself the opportunity for some new projects with the Eight of Pentacles. And get rid of the things that you're hanging on to with the Four of Pentacles that has showed up twice in this reading. And the Star card is saying, yeah, it's a promise of a new beginning. It's time to orient yourself. This card is about orientation. The stars in the celestial sky are fixed, and it tells us where we're at on this earth and where our path should be going. This card is about enlightenment and understanding and insight. And if you can get a grasp and a good hold on your emotions with the King of Cups, everything is going to fall into place. And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.